The stage has been set for the RLCS Season 7 World Championship. But with the lay of the land has shifted since Leipzig, and with so little clarity of who sits atop the Rocket League throne, you can be confident that all of our teams here at DreamHack Dallas are going to be looking to leave the remainder in their rear view mirror. Much like we saw at DreamHack Leipzig with Team Dignitas here, able to walk away with this beautiful trophy. Hello and welcome to DreamHack Dallas. I am going to be your host throughout the entirety of this weekend. I am Wade Dreadnought Penfold, but up here with me at the desk, I have a bit more of familiar faces for you RLCS and Rocket League fans out there. It is going to be Gibbs and Turtle. Boys, we have a beautiful weekend of Rocket League here before us.
So I'm so excited, not for the games itself, but I got Turtle up here on the desk all weekend long. So how are you feeling behind the stage now?
I mean, I'm a little bit nervous, but it's a good change of pace. Seeing everything, you know, all the lights and the flash cameras, but I'm excited, man.
What do you think is going to be, the biggest difference here for you, behind the scenes here? What are you looking forward to the most, I feel like, for this weekend?
I'm looking forward to watching these teams play out and all of the different skills that we see here, because it's not just limited to RLCS. This is literally open to everybody. We're going to see some crazy plays, some good upsets, hopefully, and I'm just excited to get into the games.
Yeah, we had some amazing upsets coming out from last weekend, with Team Echo Zulu coming in, or not last weekend, but last DreamHack with teams like Team Echo Zulu. It was beautiful to be able to watch their performance and be able to rise to the top. And, eventually when we get into the groups, that is something I'm going to be asking of you guys. But is there any, maybe low-end team or teams that people don't know the name of that you guys feel like maybe has something to prove here at a tournament like DreamHack?
All right, first off, we have to talk about Pink Hair Fan Club. I love these boys. It is Prime Thunder. He's going to be playing in his first round matchup against his old team of Rogue. Yeah. He's with Seabass, one of the best players on the old team from Allegiance, so a lot of experience and Soul Flare. So I'm looking out for those boys.
Right, I'm looking out for RBG because they just picked up Jacob, the new star player on that roster. I'm very excited to see how he meshes with them. A player we've seen in the community so many times before, and now he's coming in at kind of a lower team, and hopefully he can be a carry and actually prove himself as an independent player.
Yeah, and it seems like the man with the hat, it's only fitting that he comes to Rise at a place like Dallas, Texas. Right. But here is our groups, and we've got to go ahead. I mean, some big names, especially when looking at things like Group B here. Gibbs, if you had to label one as a group of death, does one stand out for you?
Man, it has to be, right? With Splice and EG in there, like obviously Splice playing with a sub that we'll talk about later, but teams like Energy and Vitality, they are the top two dogs right now. Everyone expects to see them in the final, but they have to get through these grueling groups. But teams like Icon coming all the way out from Australia, so it's good to see them, the old Tainted Minds team there. So I want to see how they do, plus Renegades as well.
And we have the Rival Series teams, so many Rival Series teams coming in, and I want to see how they perform because this is such a great proving ground for them, especially if they just made it in like the Peeps going into RLCS. Yeah. I'm so excited to see how they perform against these upper level teams.
Yeah, I was going to say for teams like that are just now making the break into the RLCS, you can't help but feel like this is one of those moments where they go, we have to prove this to ourselves, right. To everybody out there that this season is going to be a fruitful one here for us and the boys.
And plus with teams that just got demoted, man, like you normally have like a month off where it's like, all right, you can decompress, you're pretty depressed about it, but teams like EG and Splice have to come back immediately the next week, playing a live environment, and have to show that they still have it too.
Yeah, and Turtle, what kind of impact can that have on them from a mentality perspective? Because I can't help but feel like it's not necessarily an upward trend here.
I mean, it's definitely demoralizing, but I think that this makes DreamHack all the more important because if you can come here and make a good performance and a good showing, then you can literally carry momentum throughout the entire Rival Series if you just got demoted. This could be the start of proving everyone wrong again.
And talking about proving, I can't help but feel like there's something to be proven within our second place team of DreamHack Leipzig, and that being with Renault Vitality. They have come out and absolutely looked unstoppable almost within the European region. So to come back here the second time, that was their first tournament together. Now having them here, I can't help but feel like they go, this is our tournament to win.
Yeah, we've seen Fairy Peak play for a really long time, never gotten a 3v3 title. He really wants one. K-Dop has obviously done it before, but he wants to win it probably more so for Fairy and, of course, Scrub Killer. But on the other side, you have Energy, plus 6 other teams that are going to the World Championship. All those teams need a good showing here to get that confidence to go into the World Championship.
Yeah, and we have teams like Vitality with every single single individual player is a star player. There's not one who's weak. It's literally the perfect medium and combination of every single player doing what they can on the pitch. And I'm just so excited to see them face off North American teams.
Yeah, and as you brought up earlier there, Gibbs, it is the teams that maybe got demoted have something to be able to prove for themselves, and that is in fact what our first matchup here today is going to be between that of Splice and EG, both struggling and falling out of the North American RLCS.
And for Splice, they were playing with a sub, Karma. She fell ill, so she couldn't make it. So now they have their coach with Jimmer. He's coming into play. Not normally a player that plays in these high-level environments. He's like right around Champ 3. I heard he hasn't even done his placement matches yet today.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty rough, honestly, with a coach coming in. I mean, especially Karma, like one of the team leaders.
Yeah.
Mentally and on the pitch, it's going to be hard. But I mean, you know, the coach maybe pulling out some stress that we haven't seen.
I can't help but feel like there's a reason when, especially Rocket League, talks about the coach's impact on a team. It's usually, I try to come in as that fourth player perspective. There's a reason they keep it as the fourth and not the third.
Yeah.
So having that moment to be forced into the third here for this roster, I think is going to be very, very challenging, especially considering the fact that it's Karma. She was looking so good at the, the promotion tournament and trying to carry out this team.
It's all about building that resume, though, for Jimmer, because this will be his greatest coaching accomplishment.
Right.
If they beat EG while he's playing on the field, that would be amazing.
I mean, maybe he might not be a coach after this match. You never see. I mean, you never know. But I'm excited. He could pull out something. I want to see how they play, honestly.
Yeah, well, before we get things underway here for this very first series, we do need to give a shout out to the people who bring DreamHack Dallas to life, and that is none other than Chipotle, BF Goodrich, Monster, and esportmanagement.com. Thank you to them for giving us the support to be able to bring this to light, and now it is time to get things underway here. The kind of battle match here between the two teams just falling out of the North American RLCS, Splice and EG.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for EG. I feel like all three of these players have been in the RLCS their entire careers, basically, now that they drop out. And that was just like 6 days ago, or not even 5 days ago at this point. So they're going to have to bounce back quickly. We'll see how their morale is probably in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely going to be more fun-orientated, especially with Jimmer coming in as just the sub for Splice. I think they're going to be kind of less serious about it, and that could give EG just great confidence going into this match, knowing that their best player's gone.
And and it just, there's a lot to be considering here for this matchup. I think a lot to be proven for either side. As we now take a glance down at the stage, we have here on the blue side, the boys of EG.
So these guys, they just fell to the rival series, but Corrupted G has been an RLCS player his entire career. He wants to bounce back. Like he said on Twitter that the journey doesn't end here. He will make it back. He is really driven to show up big here because, again, they want to prove to everyone that that was a mistake, that they made it to the rival series and want to bounce back next season. And then here we have Classics, one of those players, a 3-time world champion player where he made it to day 3 times in a row. The only other teams to say that was Dignitas and Cloud9. So he is a huge clutch factor on this team, as well as, of course, Drippet.
Coming in from overseas, he wants to stay in the United States and prove his spot here and his worth, honestly.
It's just, these guys are land boys. They always have been, so it was so disappointing to see them not make the World Championship. They always prove everyone wrong. And now, on the Splice side, this is looking strange. No Karma here.
Yeah, it's just so concerning, In Turtle, I got to go ahead and ask, it's something that we look at when we look at these rosters, and losing somebody as big of a role on the roster of Karma, like how big of an impact do you think, 33% of your roster is gone, but is that really what this team has ended up losing?
It is a huge impact, especially being the player that Karma is, and the mental game. I honestly always view her as the team leader, and we see Jimmer here coming in trying to make a substitution, a replacement here, but it's just going to be hopefully enough.
Yeah, we'll have to see playstyle changes. Obviously, we're going to need Jay Wismont to be that offensive player that he can be, that we saw back in the rival series for Season 5. Yeah. He's got to really step up, but it's going to come down to, where does Jimmer play? Does he play, super aggressive and just try and bother EG, or does he play only defense?
Do you have maybe a perspective that you would like to see out of him and Jimmer and his role in this roster that makes maybe the least of a dent to the loss of Karma?
I mean, I want to see Jimmer pull out the Gibbs strategy.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
He needs to be defensive, lay in the backfield, and just let his teammates do everything, honestly, and try and fill in the rotation. And just honestly getting a good challenge here and there can be everything he needs to do, honestly.
So I think in games 1 and 2, maybe he plays that way. But if they start seeing that the defense is not doing that well, then maybe you're like, all right, just go ham and just go take their boost and demos, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you have to do to change it up. So we'll see if middle of the series, if they do decide to change it up, because if game 1 and 2 go wrong, they might have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and man, it's going to be an interesting series to be able to watch this one unfold, especially, you know, without Karma here in this roster. And then EG, I feel like so much to prove on that level here. But it's time to waste no more time, actually, in the fact that we have ourselves the prediction era. So I got to go ahead and lay this down here, guys. What do you, if you have to bank on one, do you stick with the EG side? Where do you fall?
So I'm on a hot streak, I would say, from the last DreamHack with
Dust
Leipzig.
the shoulders off real quick
I'm just
there.
saying, I said
in.
Dignitas on day 3 would win it, and they did. So obviously, Splice is going to win this game. Coach Jimmer, baby. He's going to show up, be the best player on the field, and he's going to make all Champion 3 players look like that they could play pro. So I'm going with Coach Jimmer.
I can't even look you in the face right now. Not like that. Look, EG is going to come in here. They're feeling so confident. They know that Karma's gone. They just need to stay calm, confident, collected, and they're going to have this one in the bag, in my opinion. So EG are going to take it.
Yeah, and you might want to keep your head turned that way. In
Yeah.
fact, because I actually am going to fall on the side of Splice. It's
nice.
such a good story here. You know, that roster has been, they're so easy to get behind with the full roster. Now you put this bit of a dent in the fact that they're having those moments to struggle within the RLCS and then come here without the full roster.
Wow.
It is hard not to root for Jimmer and the boys.
And the
do this to
best
me?
part is we're on day 1, right? So everyone's going to forget that we got this one wrong, Dread. So it's great. It's fantastic.
It is fantastic here. But let's go ahead and get this thing